now. So I hope this video has been helpful, and I hope you're appreciating me following through with my agreement that I made yesterday on this channel. Alright, have a wonderful day.
Oh, Onision, you're so funny, and you always tell the truth.
Boob squeeze.
What did he just say?
Boob squeeze.
Did he just squeeze my boobs? I feel violated.
Boob squeeze.
I haven't felt this violated since Donald Trump said grab women by the pussies. This is just terrible.
Boob squeeze. Boob squeeze. Boob squeeze.
Oh no.
Boob squeeze. Boob squeeze. Boob squeeze.
He's assaulting me. Onision just assaulted me. He raped me. We need to do something about this. How can we be so against Donald Trump if he says to grab women by the pussies and we're just gonna let Onision grab our boobs? Just squeeze them as much as he wants?
Boob squeeze. Boob squeeze. Boob squeeze. Boob squeeze.
There we go. I think that might have done it. I think that might have gotten rid of all of the people that come here to this channel because they see me make fun of Onision and they're like, this guy's hysterical and he's great. I'm gonna subscribe. And then the next day I put out a video and they're like, oh, he supports Trump, unsubscribe. That was for all you people, to weed you out, to get rid of you. Because I'm sorry. My viewpoints are my viewpoints. And just because I don't like this guy, that doesn't mean at all that I'm going to agree with everything else you believe. So, welcome to the Egocast. Hello! It's Andy again from the Egocast channel. And fucking Onision again, man.
Men who identify as little girls. Hashtag ageism. Hashtag age fluid and hashtag trans age. But first, some of you wanted me to address the whole President of the United States banning certain people.
Nope, not what I'm talking about. Don't care.
So regarding the whole trans age thing, this person says trans age is not a thing. If you are trying to touch a child and use this as an excuse, you're getting arrested. What if you don't use that excuse? Can you touch them then? I'm of course kidding. We can calm down now.
Thanks for keeping that going. I get like 1,000 more views every time you bring that shit up.
Hashtag trans age and hashtag age fluid are disgusting labels. Pause. I'm actually not saying a non-positive thing right now. I'm quoting someone, so I'm allowed to quote this without betraying yesterday's agreements.
If you haven't seen that video, it is probably the most laughable thing I've ever heard in my life.
Okay, good. So they say these are disgusting labels created by alt-right people to demonize the transgender community. Well, maybe.
See, it does make it difficult though, because I don't know if he's being sarcastic or not. Like, I don't get his new shtick yet. But these are people that are seeing what the transgender community is getting done by making up all of these silly genders and getting them fucking looked at as legit. So now people are coming out as cats. And people are in love and want to marry their computers. And it's opened the floodgate for all this nonsense. All those years ago when we said we're not going to accept this horse shit because it's just going to lead sicker people to want to do sicker things. Here we are!
This person says, I'm sorry, but as a trans person, I'm not buying that. If there is really a need for you to behave, dress, or act as a child as part of an identity, then it's important you fulfill it and do what you feel you must, but in no way should you impose your identity to a child. I feel like that's fair. Because it's not like transgender people are walking around targeting children saying, hey, I'm a woman, or I'm a man, and trying to involve those children in their identity.
Now see, again, I don't really get the whole shtick that he's doing now, so I don't know if he's being sarcastic or not. But if he's being sarcastic, haha, that's funny. If he's not being sarcastic with that comment, come on.
Meanwhile, people who are trans age, they might try dressing up as children and going to play with children, and maybe those children aren't ready for that. Maybe.
Maybe. Maybe!
Here's someone making a joke of it. I'm 19 but identify as 21, so where's the bottles at B? I'm telling you guys, you better watch out. We make fun of these things today, and tomorrow we're labeled as not so good things because we reacted to trans age the way other people initially reacted to transgender, and now we risk looking like very non-pleasant people.
No, see, you've got it fucking wrong. Back when we were bitching about transgender people, we were saying things like, what if a 50-year-old man decides that he wants to live his life as a 6-year-old girl? That was the joke back then. So now we've got somebody saying, well, I'm 19, but I identify as 21. Let me drink. You're acting like that shit's ridiculous now. Just like we did way back when we said there's never gonna be a 50-year-old man that's gonna want to be a 6-year-old girl. And yet here we are, talking about it.
How old am I? I'm #agefluid. My date of birth does not define my age. Well, I mean, your date of birth does kind of identify when you were born. Kind of.
Kind of? Kind of?
A little bit. But here's the thing. People say I feel much younger. But how do we know that we don't feel exactly how most everyone else feels at our age?
This sounds like it is about to be the most asinine comment I've ever heard in my life.
So without knowing how everyone else your age feels, how can you really say what exactly your age identity actually is?
I was right. Most asinine comment I've ever heard in my life.
Age fluid, a person whose age identity is not fixed and changes over time depending on the situation. That's interesting. I feel like it all comes down to this though. Does the person who's age fluid have a record of affecting children in a non-positive way?
Some people would argue that you do.
I have this maybe silly idea that we should judge people based on their own actions and not what we think they might do.
Do you really? Do you really think that?
Because we just assume people are a certain way if they're trans, gay, white, black, or anything else, or we're already kind of putting that person in an unfair position, a position that we ourselves wouldn't want to be put in. It's really hard not to prejudge people on some level. To outright reject the concept of age fluidity?
I don't know. I honestly think that now he's going to say the most asinine comment I've ever heard in my life.
I don't know, what does that response do for you exactly? Because it doesn't seem like it accomplishes much.
No, it doesn't seem like it accomplishes much. It really doesn't. Because there's so many assholes like you out there that every time somebody comes up with a brand new state of being, they're all rah, rah, rah. You morons are pushing this kind of shit forward, and it's gonna get people hurt.
Here's someone that seems to be very upset. They say #trans age is not a thing. It is literally the glorification of pedophilia. Age is something you can't change or reverse. I know, it's really easy to say these kinds of things.
Holy shit, he's gonna fucking do it again.
But people were saying basically exactly the same thing about gay people when they started becoming a more popular topic, or trans people in general. You see, just because something doesn't sit right with us doesn't automatically make it wrong.
No, that's the lesson that we've been trying to teach you for so long. This isn't something we think or feel. This is fact. If you were born in 1979, you're 37. I don't care what you feel like or how you act. It's the way it is. If you were born in 2000, you're 17, or gonna be this year, or whatever. That's fact. These are just facts. If you have a penis, you're a man. If you have a vagina, you're a girl. These are just facts. Just facts. Like, it isn't my feelings that's making me think that this is true. Actual fucking quantifiable reality is making me think that this is true. What is it that's making you not think it's true? That's the better question.
If anything, it really suggests that we're just not used to it, and we're just going through the typical human reactions. In a lot of ways, it seems like people are reacting to trans issues, to gay issues, etc., using the stages of grief.
No, here we go. This is going to be the most asinine point I've ever heard in my life. This is it.
A lot of times, society's first reaction is shock. Oh my gosh, there's some people in the men's bathroom who weren't born biologically male.
Yeah, see, that wasn't the problem. Nobody really cared about that. The concern was men that aren't women going into the women's restroom. That's where the concern lied. It's cute. Usually you're so much better at this sort of manipulation. You really are. I don't know what's happened. I don't know if it's because of your new I'm not going to be a negative thing or whatever. But usually you have so much more of a deft scalpel with it. You're just sledgehammering the fuck out of everything to try and make your point. It's so weird.
Gasp. And then we're like, no, that couldn't happen. But then we keep hearing it happen and we're like, oh man.
And we're like, oh man, women are getting attacked in bathrooms. This is bad.
This is unacceptable. And we're like, listen, we'll give you another bathroom for you to go in, but don't be coming in my bathroom.
See, again, you're getting better with it. Like, you're getting closer to that scalpel with that comment. But the thing of it was, we weren't the ones that bargained. Those of us who were against it, we're still against it. We didn't bargain. Your side pushed the bargain. Your side that wants to split us all up and get us all separate bathrooms and drinking fountains and dorm halls and shit. That was your liberal side. That was what made the bargain. Since you're getting back with the scalpel, it's very fine, very good, but just not enough of it in this video to really challenge me, you know?
Now switch over to homosexuality and gay marriage getting legalized, and you got a lot of depressed people.
See, now you got that fucking sledgehammer going again. We're switching topics? You know, generally the stages of grief are about a single event. Like a death in the family, and you go through the stages of grief. You don't have a problem with grief, go through half of the fucking stages, and then figure out a new problem that you can go to get you the rest of the way through the ladder. That's bullshit. Like, this is bludgeoning bullshit. What's wrong with you, man? Like, you just lost your touch.
Going, oh no, now same-sex people can get married. But then we try to test it, like that one woman named Kim did, only to find ourselves in deep trouble over it. And
yeah, but it had nothing to do with the stages of grief or anything like that. It was more, she decided that she didn't want to do her job, so she got in trouble. That's what it was.
Finally, there's acceptance, where we realize, gosh, some people are different, and there's not much I can do about it. So it's time for me to just let it go.
Yeah, see, no, we haven't gotten there. Because there's still a shit ton of people that don't accept it. Personally, on the issue of gay marriage, I give a fuck less. Why does that even affect me? I don't care. I don't understand why anybody ever did. But as far as this fucking age fluidity, nobody's ever going to accept this. And there isn't going to be a time when everybody's going to accept transgender people. It just isn't going to happen. You've beaten us into gay people. Like, we're fine with gay people. And I think, honestly, what it was, for the most part, people just didn't care anymore. There wound up being enough gay people around. There's a gay person in everybody's life. And you get to the point where you're like, they're people too. And you just become more accepting of it. It's never going to happen with somebody who wants to claim that they are a third gender. That's never going to happen. Or with somebody who wants to claim that they switch genders at random times, or at will, or anything like that. It's never going to happen. There's never going to be acceptance for that. And there's never going to be acceptance for, I'm two. I know what you see, but believe me, I'm two. It's just how I feel. Goo goo gaga. Come on.
What I'm saying is we're obviously in shock about the whole age identity thing right now. And some people are already to the denial phase, saying it's not a thing.
That's because it's not a thing.
In fact, now that I think about it, some people are even to the anger stage. But why don't we just skip all the other steps to save ourselves some time and accept that, yes, some people do legitimately identify as someone much younger or older than themselves.
God, you liberal fucking assholes would just love that, wouldn't you? Just stop all the debate and throwing facts in my face and stuff, and let's just accept everything. Fuck you.
And you know what? So long as nobody is breaking the law, nobody is being harmed, etc., then maybe we should just let them be.
If nobody's breaking the law or anything like that, that's fine. But all these conversations, whether there's a third gender or not, none of it really matters. When it all comes down to it, it doesn't matter until it gets to legislation. Once it gets to legislation, then it makes a difference. And when gay people wanted to get married and all that, and everybody wanted to have this acceptance of gay people, people said, well, the next thing you know, we're going to have to accept people who want to transition and people who want to say that they're whatever they want to be. This was an actual conversation that went on back then. And everybody said that's not going to happen. People aren't going to decide that they want to marry children, and people aren't going to decide that they want to marry inanimate objects. And sure enough, we started having problems with that. And then the whole transgender thing came along. And we said, look, there's been trainees forever. Nobody's cared. But now it has to be this issue. Because now identity politics is this thing. It's been successful once, so it can be successful more. So now we get that. And it's like, well, that's really not all that bad. Nobody really cares. Everybody loves a good cabaret. You know, like, who cares? But then it became the issue of, well, I may be a man, but I think I'm a woman, and I want to be able to go and pee in the women's bathroom. And then people got pissed, and they said, no, you can't do that because you're going to have people that are going to play the system. And that endangers people. And we're not going to make law something that will open the door to endangering people's health and lives. Because that's stupid. Why would you do that? Now we're here. Now it's age fluidity. And you've got a fucking, how old was that dude? 50, 60, something like that? 40 something? I don't even fucking know. Whatever. But he sees himself as a 6-year-old girl. So no, as long as that guy is in his own little room and he's all by himself and he's locked away where he belongs and doesn't hurt people, that's fine. But if you legislate that that's okay and that now anybody can say that you're essentially saying you can say whatever the fuck you want to be. Undoomed will actually become an attack helicopter because that's what he said he wanted to be. I will actually become a sad puppy or a pair of yoga pants. Those are the two things that I identify as. So, but with me as a sad puppy, I can't drive anymore because, you know, animals don't get driver's license. It's going to be really tough for me to find a job. You understand what I'm saying? And that's fine. If you want to say you're a 6-year-old girl and you can find some family stupid enough to adopt you and take care of you, but just the things you want to do are harmful. For yourselves. I'm on your side. I'm trying to keep you from doing stupid things. It's going to make your life more difficult. Face reality. Come out of the clouds. Live here with us.
Now, I personally identify as my own age because I'm okay with my own age. But to the LGBT community, I just want to ask you guys, as a cis white male who's married to someone who's non-binary, that same person also being bisexual.
Or just bisexual and likes short haircuts, you know, whatever.
In my situation, I've embraced my partner's differences. In fact, I kind of love their differences.
Yeah, it's big money, right? Right.
My question to you is, as a person who's very generic in their configuration, if I could not only accept but embrace being married to such an interesting person, why can't a lot of you as a community not accept people who are trans age? Because it seems like this is just another incident where a lot of people are assuming horrible things are going to happen, when really that might not be the case.
Because like I said before, pedophilia tends to bring all the sides together. Everybody can agree that opening the door for bad people to molest children is bad.
What if all they want to do is just play kids games and watch My Little Pony?
See, alright. I want to address two things in this little clip. First is, nothing is stopping an adult from playing children's games. Nothing's stopping you from doing that. So, why do you have to say you're 6 to play Chutes and Ladders? Just set up the board and go, man. The second thing is the little thing down there at the bottom where it says, I'm talking about people who legitimately identify as younger or older than they are, not people who are just saying these things to target other people. That's a great way to attempt to absolve yourself from any liability if wrongdoing happens because of things you say. But when you put that into your video as a little clip, it makes me wonder, are you being sarcastic about all this? Because if you're being sarcastic about all this, this is a hysterical video. But your past leads me to believe that you're not being like this. Like, I don't understand. Is this sarcasm? You really can't think this way, can you?
That was a joke. I'm sorry if I offended anybody. But maybe we should focus on more important issues, like how at the time of this video being made, the American...
Nope. Another video. Don't care.
So I hope this video has been helpful, and I hope you're appreciating me following through with my agreement that I made yesterday on this channel. Alright, have a wonderful day. Boop squeeze.
I feel violated.